All right, welcome back. We are back to the four board match points tournaments, the instant tournament. So these are robots. I did post one of a speedball that was imps. That's a little bit slower because it's live play and I can't talk really as much. So let me know which one you prefer in the comments. I feel like this one is a little bit easier for me at least to commentate and kind of go at my own pace and walk you through some of my thought processes. And I have picked up a beautiful hand, a 16 count, a nice 6 card heart suit. I can just bid one heart, which is forcing, and hear what partner has to say. So the robots play that this could be a balanced hand. So they're showing at least 4 spades here. So what I want to do is I want to make a forcing bid. I want to keep this auction going and see if maybe partner has a few hearts. I've only promised 4 in this auction, so I know I want a game force. So you can bid a convention here called force suit forcing, which is simply asking partner to let me know if you have 3 hearts. And so I'm going to bid this. And so this should show that partner has 3 hearts. So you can see there, limited, it looks like to about 11 to 14 points. I guess the robots play that, which is fine. So I know I want to be in a heart contract. Do I want to be in slam? What do I need from partner to have slam? Let's just create some hands here. So ace of spades, king of clubs, king of diamonds. It's got a good shot. And he's got a few other points. So I think what I can do here is just set hearts as trump. They play only showing key cards for aces, so I figured they would sign off. I have 3 in my own hand. I am going to explore slam here. And so let's just see what partner says. That is 1 or 4 key cards. That means I'm off 1 key card, which is the 4 aces and the king of hearts. I don't know about spades, but it's already too late, so I'm just going to bid 6 hearts. All right, lucked out here. So normally I would play, I think they're called Italian cupids, which will allow me to figure out, do we have a first or second round control in spades? So if, for example, partner had the king of spades, I wouldn't necessarily be worried about them running the first 2 spades tricks. You can see we kind of lucked out here in terms of we got a favorable club lead. And I can now pitch spades from my hand. So my original plan here is pitch 2 spades from my hand on the clubs and then take a diamond finesse, assuming the hearts break reasonably. So I will win the ace. I will play anything I need to do here in hearts, not particularly. So I'm missing the jack 10 9 and the 4. So jack 10 9 4. I cannot pick up if it's 4-0 either way. Well, I would be able to pick it up if it's with east, right? So I can play low to the king. West would show out. And then I could play... No. So it doesn't matter. All right, so I'm just going to draw trumps here. All right, they're drawn. I am going to get rid of those spade losers. And I will just try a diamond finesse. And made 7. So let's look at this hand, because I wouldn't have necessarily bid it like this at the table. So let's just assume that you play that you would always show a 4-card spade suit here. So if you look at North's hand, they have a very balanced 12 count. So I would just bid 1 no trump instead of 1 spade, Normally when people will bid a spade here, it's promises an unbalanced hand and whatever. So like they bid their spade, I bid two diamonds, they show that they have a 3 card heart suit, and I bid 3 hearts, which is, we're already in a game forcing auction. So 3 hearts here should be, all right, let's try to explore slam. Partners signed off very quickly, did not look at any kind of Q bids. Now you could look at some 3-no trump non-serious or serious. I don't know what the robots play. So without really kind of any kind of gadgets, this is a hard hand to either sign off in game or looking to explore slam. So if over 3 hearts, because 3 spades is still below 3-no trump, depending on what you play, you could show control in spades. But for this type of a hand, I don't really mind just the jumping to 4 hearts. I just felt like my hand was pretty good with 3 aces, a 6-card heart suit, which my partner only thought I had 5. It's worth exploring, but you can see you don't want to be in slam when you're off 2 key cards. So got a little bit lucky there. And let's look at this 12 count. I'm just going to open a club. And this is the exact same situation, actually, we just talked about. So I'm going to bid a no trump, I think. But I think with the robots, that denies 4 spades. This is like identical to what we had. So at the table, I would bid 1 no trump here. But I think with the robots, I have to bid 1 spade. So whatever. So now they invite with 3 spades. This is match points. I don't really want to be pushing for games here. 10 of hearts could be interesting. My spades aren't great. I do have 2 aces. My shortness is likely in partner's suit, which is not necessarily good. Do I think I'm going to make 4 spades? This is a best hand tournament. I know partner has at most 12, which with 12 they probably wouldn't bid it, so they probably have 10 points over there. I'm not going to push for this. I'm just going to pass. And we see a dummy that is kind of exactly what we expected. So they started out by leading a spade. So my first question is here, which hand do I want to make the master hand? So which hand do I want to count my losers from? And it looks like here, I'm going to want to do so North's hand. Because North has, decent hearts. I can play the queen, and if it goes low, I can just finesse. Or if they cover with the king, then my hearts are going to be good. And both hands have 2 diamond losers, so that doesn't matter. So I don't want to have to try to rough 2 clubs in North. I feel like it's easier for me to try to set up North's hand. So I'm just going to cover this, and we'll go king. I'm not too worried about winning the ace initially and getting after the other suits because I don't have a quick way to my hand. And there's not too much that I'm going to need to do in terms of roughing here. So I'd rather just kind of get the trumps drawn. Likely shift to a diamond. Yep. So now if the heart finesse is on, I might be able to pitch some diamonds and rough diamonds in the dummy. So that's what I'm going to try to do. I'm going to win this. And I feel like I can afford to play the queen of hearts now, because if the robot covers, I can hopefully draw a trump. Well, draw at least 1 trump, play the 10, cross back to my hand with the ace, and pitch 2 diamonds on the hearts and rough at least 1 of those diamonds. I don't think I'm going to be able to rough both of them unless I get a really friendly heartbreak. No, I wouldn't. Let's say they're 4-3. And they would be roughing in the 3rd time unless they only started with 2 spades. I feel like that is optimistic thinking. So I'm going to take advantage of being a dummy here and just play the queen. All right, that loses. They're going to take their diamonds. And they're going to play a heart, which I can win here. I will play a spade, and I will go down one. Nothing I can do. Maybe they cover, and okay. All right, 64. Anything we could have done differently there? Let's go to double dummy. So this is down one off the top. And you can see that if that heart finesse would have won, hypothetically, or they covered, because West only had two spades to start, I could have drawn one spade and then pitched on those hearts, but again, that's against the odds. So we're halfway done. We pick up this hand, which is like a 14 count, and I will open a club, a longer minor. I get a spade. So my question now is, do I want to bid 3 or 2? I do have nice spades. I have a flattish hand. The jack of diamonds is dubious value. I'm just going to bid 2 to show that I have a fit. So this should be a help suit game try, and I have a maximum. So I have an easy bid of 4. So really what their partner is trying to do is, look, I can't go to game myself. It sounds like you're not interested in game that much, but if you were maximum of your kind of tier 1 bid, so 14-ish points, I think we have game. So we found ourselves in game here. And again, we want to be asking ourselves, where do we want to set up? Which hand do we want to set up? And in this situation, again, it looks like North might be a little bit easier because they do have very nice clubs. So we have a diamond lead here. I know I'm going to lose a spade. I know I'm going to lose a heart, although I might be able to sneak one through, because dummy is me, and they might not know I only have one heart in my hand, which is North. So let's just count up a heart loser, and it looks like I'll have a club or a diamond loser. Now if I play low here and they win the king on my left, I might be able to discard a club from south on the queen of diamonds, and I won't have to rely on a club finesse to hold those losers to 0. Do I feel like they've led away from the king? Also, is there any danger of me rising the ace and then playing a jack? So if I play the jack and it loses, am I opening up myself to maybe a diamond rough? So I have the 2 and the 3 in North hand. So I'm guessing that this is not a singleton. That means West would have 7 diamonds because they played the 4. If I couldn't see a spot card below, maybe they'd be leading from a doubled in which case West would have 6. But I feel like I'll be okay given the diamond break. I think I can try this in a match points game. Okay, it loses. And now they fire back a club. So I feel like there is a little bit of urgency here now. I can win the ace. 4. And I'm going to get rid of the ace here, and I'm going to try to create a dummy entry by playing this. Okay. So they fire back the 7 of clubs. They can't see my hand, so that is not the most telling thing. If it is singleton. What's the best way here? Should I try to sneak a heart through? Let's see. I'm going to win this. And if it is a singleton club on my left, means East would have 4, in which case I would need to ruff twice. So I'm going to test the clubs. So I'm going to win the king and draw the last trump. Now I can pitch my club and I can ruff a club and just give up a heart. And I have the last tricks. Okay, so you see here that the club finesse would have lost. So I could have set up a heart, but really that wasn't all that urgent for me. I could, yes, pitch a club on the king of hearts, but odds are that my club suit's going to set up. So I think the way I played it is ideal, hoping that West had 2 clubs. And I don't think it cost me at the beginning to play that diamond. So it looks like I made it. So had to win this. Got rid of the diamond. Yep. Okay. Looks like other people are decent number going down. It looks like about 60% of people went down. And I'm guessing they played it for the club finesse. So last hand here, that is a 14 count. And I can safely open a spade and then rebid hearts. And I have no rebid problem. I could open this 1 no trump, but I don't like to do that 5-4, especially with 5 spades. So I'm going to bid this. Wonder what the robots support jump shift by past hand. So I really like my hand. So they have 11 points, 10 or 11 points. Got 3 aces. I don't know if I want to tell the robots more about my hearts. I'm just gonna bid game here, keep it simple. I do not play this convention, so. All right, so let's look at the hand. I'm gonna be setting up my hand here in South. I have, it looks like a couple heart losers, club loser, which I'm gonna lose right off the top. That is a fast loser. Diamonds look really good, but am I going to be able to play the ace of diamonds, a low diamond over to the king, and play the queen of diamonds and pitch a club? That would only work if they're 3-3. Or I can play the ace of spades, and let's say the king doesn't drop. I could then go down that route, and maybe they would have to ruff with the king. Alternatively, I could win the ace, cross to dummy to diamond. That's not going to work because I'll be stuck. I wouldn't have an easy entry back. So this club loser is a fast loser, like I mentioned. The second I win the ace, it's going to be exposed. And I can't really get to dummy because I have ace and 1 diamond. to try the spade finesse. I know that they're going to take that club quickly. So what is the best line of play here? At least if I play the ace of spades first, I'll catch king singleton. I would lose if the spade king is onside. But I think that is going to still be my play, because I should be able to ruff the hearts rather easily. All right, let's give it a shot. This might not be the best way to play it, but it's what I see right now. Play the ace, and I'm going to play diamonds. That jack looks scary, and I'm going to play a diamond, and I'm just going to pitch this. Okay, so West pitched the two of clubs, which tells me that they either don't want to ruff with the king, or East has the king and they started with king third. So what I can do now is just go about roughing my hearts. I could also play diamond, set it up. So if I play diamond, East has to follow. I could ruff with the 3. And now that way, if East gets in with the ace of hearts and plays king of spades and a spade. So let's walk through that one. So my concern is if East has king and 1 spade left, they could get in with the ace of hearts, play the king of spades and another spade, and then I am left with a heart loser, right? Yeah, because I'd have the queen and then I'd have 2 more. So if I play a diamond and ruff it and then play a heart to the king and they do the same, I could ruff and then pitch one of the hearts on the diamond. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, well, they didn't want to ruff with the king. That's fine. So now I can ruff here. And draw trump. And I am good. Just claim. 100%. Let's look at that last hand. Let's see what the result. Okay, we got first. 86. First hand was a little bit lucky. Fourth hand, I'm kind of surprised. The results haven't loaded yet, but you'll see. Now that we see all 4 hands, I think people probably started with the spade finesse, which loses, and then you're gonna lose a club there, and you're gonna lose the ace of hearts. So I was able to take 1 extra by going down my path. I didn't talk about how well I actually did. So if I take the ace and then it's ruff with the king, I did talk about it. If the finesse was offsides, so that worked. I don't know if it was 100% the best line of play. Oftentimes when you're looking at this, when you're looking at a hand, and you're looking at the clock, you're trying to figure out the best play, and you see a line, and then you try to think of other lines that might be better, and then you start worrying if you're second guessing yourself, especially if you're kind of coming up against the clock. So this one, I just felt like it was a reasonable line. I wanted to try to pitch that fast club loser as fast as I could, and it looks like I'd be able to ruff the hearts. And the way it actually worked is I kind of like reversed the hand I wanted to play towards the end, because I ended up making use of those diamonds, and I didn't really consider that. It felt like that was a surprising way the play unfolded. So I switched my original game plan a little bit. and that sometimes that happens. Maybe some other people simply just didn't bid game here. So if I go to other tables, so everyone made 4 spades here just without the extra trick. So let's see what they did. Yeah, so they immediately went off the hearts, but then you're exposed in clubs. Let's just look at another hand. So they played the ace of diamonds and then played the diamond and then tried the spade finesse. So yeah, that would work kind of in an perfect environment. But you're exposing yourself if it loses. So I think what I did was better. So here we go, there's another club lead. There's the ace of spades. Then they just gave up a spade, but again, you're exposed in clubs. They're just gonna take their club trick. Okay. So look, I'm not an expert. I'm just trying to improve my game as an intermediate player. If you do anything differently, I'm totally open to any of your perspectives. Just leave it in the comments. Hope you enjoyed. I look forward to seeing you at the next one.